Welcome to the maddest mad ting show ever with Dre Zera, Jackie Hyde, and Dan Pettit. Here is Dre Zera Uncensored. Bring you interviews of all kind of things and some deep, crazy chats. Don't forget to like, share, follow wherever you're tuning in.
Listening to the Dre Zera podcast. I've been your host, Dre Zera, along with Dan. Say goodbye, Dan.
Bye. Welcome again to another episode of Dre Zera Uncensored. Yo ho! We have approached the springtime and it's full of sunshine because in this episode I have not only have myself, but in this section we have the one and only inspirational Twitter masterclass of injections, the one and only FPL Booner. Hello Booner, how are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dre, it's an absolute pleasure, mate. I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. Good vibes. My health is feeling good. I'm feeling good, man. Literally, it feels weird not having tea. And stuff like that for a long time. It's weird, but you know, it's all good. And yeah, man. How's life going for you, man?
It's going okay, mate. Both off-field and on-field, and on-field being FPL and off-field being life in general. It's going good, mate, to be honest. Can't complain. I've got a job, so, you know, I guess there's a lot we should be grateful for because not everyone's as fortunate.
Yeah.
And FPL's going well too at the moment, to be honest with you. Apart from this week, the Green Arrow is not the biggest it could be, but, you know, we have these times. But generally, mate, all good.
I mean, hopefully by the time this comes out, you'll be literally, hopefully within the top 100k at the very least, or the top 50k. But I guess we will see. I
hope so.
That's the joy of scheduled interviews. But yeah, so tell me, man, what got you into fantasy football in the first place? Because obviously these days, people listening here, they know you behind the man behind the syringe emoji. You literally give people a fun time with your banterousness and remind people of their misfortunes, but it's all love over here. So what brought you into the fantasy football world in the first place? Obviously, we all know that you love football, obviously, but where did it all begin?
Well, that's it. I mean, that is where it kind of all rose from. I've always been a massive football enthusiast, and about 6 or 7 years ago, during a World Cup, I tried the Sun Dream Team.
Yeah.
Which is a fantasy football game for those not aware. I haven't done it, in quite some time, but I did quite well in that, and that's where it kind of my interest kind of stemmed from that point onwards. To be honest, that's why I'm into my 7th season, so I've played since then.
And that's awesome, man. And you know, it's incredible because fantasy football keeps going like in growth every season with so many, for example, content creators and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, what do you think made you rise to prominence in the Twitter world? Because obviously I know you personally in the virtual world and all that kind of stuff, but obviously like it's incredible because literally like it just all your following is exploded really, because literally like if people know FPL Twitter or FPL social media, they know who Booner is. Like, how did that actually start going? Because obviously you must have had a period of time when, say, not many people knew you. Do you know what I mean? So how did it all like? How did the ball roll?
So how it started was those that know me from 3-4 years back. I've only been on Twitter since October 2017. So in the wider scheme of things, that's what just under 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So not that long. Before being FPL Booner and having a Twitter account, I was an active host and contributor on the Fantasy Football Scout forums, but I didn't used to be called FPL Booner on there. I went by the name of FPL Guru. But at the time, being so new into the game, I think I was 2 or 3 seasons in at the time, and I didn't have any amazing finishes. So, I quickly changed my name, and I was like, I can't really be calling myself FPL Guru. And that's where kind of FPL Boona stemmed from. A lot of people do tend to ask me, where did the name FPL Boona arise from? But I'm sure that'd be something that we come on to in a bit more detail. It's nothing too exciting, in fairness. But yeah, the whole Twitter thing, it has exploded more so in the last 12 months with the whole injection thing that people seem to absolutely love or hate. But I tell you what, from what I see, most people love it, and that's good, because obviously I've seen people, Dre, that tweet me or tag me into comments saying that I've actually got that player that you're injecting. But you doing that just makes it feel a lot more, easier to bear when they don't do so well, which is pretty surprising, but it's good. That's the whole essence of the injection emoji, right? The whole purpose is that, it adds a bit of light-heartedness to a game that we all take quite seriously.
And I knew that, and I knew when the injection was about to take off, and it really just took prominence. I already felt that this was something that was really going to click on, especially since... for all those that don't know, I assisted in adapting your original logo to get that. You're literally watching me on screen share, literally every pixel, right, gotta do this, literally to it was, you make sure to get the blood droplets from the...
I was so particular, I salute you.
Yeah, thanks, man, thank you, and, it's... I appreciate it, and it's one of those things where it's gone to the point where literally I see memes of you with the injection syringe. I've seen GIFs. I've literally seen somebody Photoshop your head on this protester.
Oh man, my head's getting photoshopped left, right, and centre onto meme posters to do the injections, and I don't mind it. I think it's quite comical, to be honest.
It's awesome. At the end of the day, the way I see it is that the more people that interact with you, regardless if it's good or bad, unless they're absolute see you next Tuesdays, but other than that, this just means that you're just getting that traction.
There's a few of those.
Exactly, you're just getting that traction, and it's absolutely legit mad thing. And yeah, it's mad. What does what does your family think of it?
My family?
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, my parents don't even know what. My parents don't even know what. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, I said my sister knows of it. My family haven't got an idea, but they're quite excited by the fact that I've got this new mic, so they think I'm some legitimate kind of podcaster now. So that's brilliant.
Awesome.
My fiance is like, yeah, whatever. She hates football, so she's like, yeah, do what you want.
Oh man, there's legit the excitement of fantasy football with my partner, cause she's not into fantasy football. She doesn't mind football, but she's nowhere near as interested in football as myself and you. Literally, I was literally just we were both chilling in a room, and literally Son scored, and I literally jumped out of my bed because I had him captain at the time of this was months ago, and I probably still have him captain by the time this comes out. But anyway, regardless, I literally when Son scored, I almost tripped over a vacuum cleaner in celebration. That's the adulation of it all. And yeah, man, new mic is awesome, and I'm hearing it right now. It's pretty good, man. So tell me, with this said, because of the fact you're growing in prominence and all that kind of stuff, man, and of course, going back a little bit, you mentioned before the FPL Boona name. Now, how did that all began? The FPL Boona name. Now, I'm not going to stereotype because we're both from a specific Asian persuasion, but how did that all come about?
But to be honest, I thought, okay, what am I changing my name from FPL Guru to?
Yeah.
Why not change it to my favourite curry? There seems to be a bit of a demand in the market. There's no one really using this name at the moment. So I went for something that was a bit at my level in terms of spice. I didn't fancy a Vindaloo, didn't fancy a Korma. I thought, why not? Mm-hmm. Obviously, me being an Asian man as well, it kind of, it just kind of went hand in hand, to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Boona is a very well-known phrase in British culture, because I hear when my dad used to run an Indian restaurant, I remember people I want a boner, so so it's one of those things where it's natural and that kind of thing, it's definitely a name that's definitely cottoned on, and it is legit, it is mad to see the growth that you've had, and also the thing is that not only you're having the growth, but you have legitimacy behind you because you've had like great FPL finishes. I mean, to remind listeners at home, and by the way, if you're listening on Spotify or whatever station you're listening to, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, going back to it, like, tell us all your best rank and literally your best season.
So I don't profess to be an absolute expert at the game, but my history is okay. It's not bad at all in the grand scheme of things. This is my 7th season. So in the previous 6 seasons, my worst season was 171k, and my best season 3k. The remaining 4 seasons were all inside the top 100k. So it's not too bad. There are people out there with far greater ranks, the likes of Late Riser et al. But it's good. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm just hoping. It's been a tricky season this season. I'm hoping to just be able to, not have my worst season ever.
And like, at the end of the way I see it, that's, I mean, to be fair, that's a good record because there are 7 million players on average that play, and therefore that you are essentially around that top 1 or 2%. I mean that's, I don't want to inject that to all the 98 or 99%, but it just shows that maybe you were a level of guru, but you are right in saying there are always people better than you. I mean, as of recording, on the show that you are with alongside FPL Llama and FPL Bench Points, you've had rank 3 and rank 8 in the world at the time when you recorded in the world on your show. So it just shows you how incredible the community is. I mean, like, yeah, and you've mentioned Late Riser as well. I mean, when it comes to people like Late Riser and that, there must be quite a lot of people you either look up to or you learn from, right?
Absolutely, definitely. Late Riser is one of my favourite FPL managers. Someone that I kind of build myself around in terms of his attacking style of play. And absolutely, you mentioned regarding us having the world number 3, number 8 on the channel. That was absolutely brilliant, and a testament to some of the work that we've done. It's been real good fun, and by the time this podcast comes out, we plan to have a few more top 100 ranked managers on our podcast. Rank 85 rings a bell, and also at the moment I'm speaking to rank number 1 through Twitter. So that would be phenomenal.
That would be incredible, and hopefully that individual stays ranked number 1 because they'll be kind of awkward, like, yeah, ranked number 1.
They're doing well. They're like 60 points ahead of the rest. So
that's actually a very big gap at this time of the season. That's a big gap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And for all those that don't know whereabouts we are recording this is around game week 21, 20, that kind of time. It was game week 21.
Yeah, game week 21.
Yeah, that kind of time. Yeah. But yeah, it is mad. And tell me then, in terms of FPL, because obviously this podcast not just talks about FPL, talks about all kinds of shit. So how much time do you put on FPL, or do you, like, I mean, we know like certain people that looks at spreadsheets and looks at FPL as if it's like some sort of scientific algebraic equation that needs to break the Fort Knox laws or something like that. But I mean, I don't have time for that, or I don't want to have time for that. So tell me then, like, how much time do you really put in? Because obviously you strike me as somebody that has definitely before pandemic, a good social life. I'm not saying that FPL managers don't have good social lives, but obviously you have a day job, you have other commitments, you have, a good social balance life. So how much time do you put on FPL? I mean, because I do recall, I think we had a conversation ages ago saying that you think the eye test is very important, but you tell me, man, how much time you put in FPL?
So I watch a lot of football. I tend to watch most matches when possible. Obviously, having a fiance and having to balance time is a must as well. And yes, like you say, a bit of a full-time job. But I tell you what, I'm still spending a good 2 to 4 hours a day on FPL. Whether that's research, whether that's searching stats, interacting on Twitter. To be fair, I'm on Twitter all day long, even throughout work. Hopefully no one listens to this from work, but I am on Twitter all day long, looking at what people are saying, interacting and posting my own stuff regarding FPL. So in that sense, it's almost a 24-hour thing whilst having a full-time job.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, like, to be perfectly honest, like, to put things in perspective, I mean, when it comes to fantasy football, while I do not put as much effort, I do feel that fantasy football, especially social media, it can be infectious. I mean, like for example, in the community and that FPL Lounge, the YouTube channel that you part co-run, and yeah, the community there talking about various strategies, talk about all stuff. It's all good, but I think. What does strike me is the real point of which I think you would understand this very well. I mean, tell me in your opinion, because I think you would know this quite well more than others. When do you think people take it too seriously? Because I know there have been people that literally treat FPL like literally like die on their sword kind of thing. But that to me, in my head, that's a bit unhealthy because when I was much younger, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Professionally. And many years ago when I was 15, right, I lost to my cousin and I got so angry I punched him in the face. But I'm no longer that kind of guy. So I used to be a very angry shit. But yeah, tell me, when do you think people take FPL too far, Boona?
When do people take FPL too far? I think it's, when you get to a level where you're like, I'm going to, deactivate Twitter, or I'm going to, this is my last season. I think that's taking FPL too far. Like, at the end of the day, like, I've done numerous videos and posted various tweets about the fact that we shouldn't take it as seriously as some people do. And, at the stage that you start feeling these things is where you should probably, just take a second to think about the fact that FPL is just a game, and these outcomes that we, have in FPL based on the decisions that we make aren't going to make a materialistic difference to our lives at the end of the day.
No.
Is KDB missing a penalty and blanking or getting -4 for you as a captain? Is that going to affect your daily life? Absolutely not. Is it going to affect your job? Absolutely not. No. You've got a family. You should be happy about that. Embrace what you've got in life. There's far bigger things going on in your life at the moment with COVID to be worrying about something like that.
And you're right. You're fully right. I mean, like for me, like I know right now as of recording, I'm having a terrible trash season, but life's chill, man. Like life's chill, man. Like I'm just happy to be in this world of fantasy football, and I feel that as long as I don't go to a certain level of seriousness, then I'll just stay here for the foreseeable future, because I feel that once FPL takes you to a place where it's literally everything in your life, then that literally destabilizes you all around you. I don't know if you agree with that.
Absolutely. I think some people really need to, take a step back and appreciate that they don't need to take the game so seriously. They need to enjoy it. That's the whole reason we started playing this game, right? To enjoy it. And by taking it as seriously as we are and letting these outcomes, which aren't in our control, right, as much research as we do, kind of affect us, it's not healthy.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right, and I just think, like, literally, like, you're right. It is like, tell me, for all those that don't know, what actually happens if you win FPL? What happens if you actually win fantasy football? I don't actually know.
I actually don't know. I don't actually know myself, to be honest, mate, because I've never really looked at it in too much detail. I think you get some award where you get to go to a number of Premier League games or something. Let me just have a quick look, though. That is quite a very good question. Actually, the first prize gets a 7-night break in the UK, including VIP hospitality at 2 Premier League matches, a week's worth of experiences at popular tourist attractions, travel and 7 nights accommodation, a Hublot connected watch. That's pretty cool. That's like a 10 grand, 20 grand
that's
watch.
actually alright,
A PS5, FIFA 21, a jacket, and an FPL goodie bag. That's okay, but I don't really do it, with that in mind. For me, it's just a case of, having that bragging rights and stuff.
Yeah,
with,
absolutely.
Mates.
Especially with mini leagues and all that kind of stuff. You're right. So...
Mini leagues are a big thing for me. Like I take part in so many mini leagues. For me, that's the main thing. And cash mini leagues here and there. Hopefully, official FPL won't be listening to this. But we need to keep that competition going, and for me, that's what it's all about. Of course, I do want to finish as high up as I can as well.
Absolutely, and you want to fire on all cylinders because in any game you want to be the best at said game. So tell me then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously with that FPL Lounge and all that, like the channel itself, as of recording, it's getting close to 700 subscribers now, and hopefully on the road to 1,000. And by 1,000, the channel can get monetized. Whoop whoop! But in any case, tell me then, what are the goals of that FPL Lounge? I mean, we've had your co-host. We've had your co-host FPL Bench Points, and we didn't talk a single word about FPL really. So we had Llama a year ago, but he just special guested instead of my usual co-host Jackie Hyde, because Jackie Hyde was unwell. So tell me then, what are the main aims? Because obviously it just seems to me as three lads and various contributors just having a good time, just chatting, bringing the community together. So what are the aims, man? What are the aims?
The aims are, of course, we want to get to a very good size. It's going to take some time. We are still quite small, but we're enjoying it at the moment. The aims are to continue doing what we're doing. Like you said, it's three lads that enjoy playing football, watching football, doing all things FPL. And what we really wanted to do with this channel was bring a voice to FPL managers that aren't, they're not all necessarily content creators, but there are a lot of Twitter influencers that are involved with FPL, and getting to know them a bit better, not just FPL but what they do outside of FPL, all of that kind of sort of thing, to be honest.
And do you feel like in a way that FPL Lounge kind of breaks barriers? Because I'm not trying to say specific FPL channels or FPL content creators, but I feel that what that FPL Lounge brings differently is very different guests, a whole variety of guests. I mean, for example, having Lynn FPL on the other week, Late Riser, of course, a legend in FPL, one of the best managers, and having various guests. I mean, it seems to me, for example, other channels, obviously not naming names, but I'm saying other content creators seem to keep having the same kind of guest, and it seems to me that FPL Lounge really goes that extra mile in getting a whole variety of different guests and having a whole different, just bringing the whole world community together. Is that a fair assessment to say?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, and that's the idea, and that's what we will be doing for forever. To be honest, as long as the channel is active, every single Thursday we will be bringing on new guests. I'm sure it will come to a point, maybe a year down the line, that we're like, okay, we're kind of running out of people to speak to, but we'll be recycling through guests. And there's so many good people that we've had on the show already, Dre. The likes of tell you who really stuck out to me, which guests. David Monday was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was fantastic. Yeah. David Monday from FF Scout.
Yeah.
Having him on was fantastic. FPL Raptor was phenomenal. He comes at things. So he doesn't provide content through YouTube or anything like that. He's a Twitter account, right?
Uh-huh.
But very involved and part of the Fantasy Football Connect, I think it is. He was phenomenal. So he comes at things from a psychological perspective. So these are quite interesting insights that these managers offer, and that's what we're looking to do. Just offer different views from managers that people know, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. And I think that's really cool, man. I mean, one person that I really, in particular, found very fascinating is former Hollyoaks star Luke Jurdy. He was actually pretty insightful, because literally, you're Mr. Hits, although as of recording, you've been a little bit more passive in that. You've had Luke Jurdy I've only taken one hit all season. And he's doing very well as of when we last talked to, that FPL Lounge last talked to him, and it's just amazing how different people have different strategies, and it's just incredible. I mean, do you have a target in mind of where that FPL Lounge is going to be?
In terms of size, viewers, subscribers,
everything you've just said. Give me the full picture.
I mean, we want to be one of the kind of go-to fantasy football podcasts. Of course, we're slightly different though, because what we don't do is we don't present ourselves as someone to come to for stats. Of course, there's an absolute market for that. A completely individual, separate market, right? Yeah. But what we want to do is just be as the name suggests, a lounge, somewhere you can come, chill, talk about FPL, talk about your team, and just have as Llama likes to say, a blether. And it's quite enjoyable. And from the feedback that we've had so far, people absolutely love it. They feel so relaxed, so chilled, and they're just enjoying themselves. And that's what we're going to continue doing, to be honest with you, mate.
Absolutely, and that's wonderful. I mean, tell me then, because I feel that this is a very intriguing question that's cropped up in my mind at times when I asked various people in the FPL world. I mean, I think I may have asked this to Nymphria in a previous episode on this podcast, but tell me, do you see yourself playing FPL for till you're like, I mean, till I know, like forever? Do you feel that there will come a time when you're like, nah, fam? Or do you feel that also? This is something also to think about. Will there ever come a point where, let's say, for example, you become such an influential individual, you yourself, you host, you ask great questions, you are very abrasive, you have a great personality. Have you ever considered being in the limelight, say, in, not, I wouldn't say mainstream TV, but various other stations in that? Like, tell me, man, what is the future for FPL Boona?
I would absolutely love it, to be honest with you, mate. I would not mind at all, and I think that's actually, you see the likes of FPL General, Andy, kind of that being their full-time job, and I would absolutely love to do the same. Whether that happens, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure whether I've quite got that, but in terms of being involved in mainstream FPL content creation, whether that's, appearing on FPL shows and stuff like that, definitely something I'm up for. I would love to do FPL full-time. That's the long and short of it, to be honest. It's something I enjoy. It's a passion, so why not, mate?
Mm-hmm. And you're saying that FPL Boona is literally going to be here for the very, very foreseeable future, like for years on end, would you say?
I'd hope so, mate. It really depends on how things go over the next 2 or 3 years. So obviously we're getting married as well late next year, so whether I have as much time as I do right now, it really does depend. It might become a little bit less. We're not too sure just yet. But at the same time, if it is something that I, make a decision, if things go well over the next 2 or 3 years, and I do want to do it a bit more full time, then of course, mate, this will be everything that I do every single day.
And that's pretty good because I mean, I would say that at the growth of which the FPL Lounge is doing, and yourself as in your social media, I think it will probably. Maybe by the end of the year, if we're being ambitious, you may have to make a mad ting decision with yourself and your day job to the point that you don't need to worry what your day job is thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the plan. But I mean, I've got a good job at the moment. I'm not going to lie. Company's amazing. I've been here 5.5 years. Pays well, so I'm in no rush. Whether it's just a case of consolidating that with a bit more money with the podcasting side of things and it being a weekend thing or an evening thing, maybe that's the way I go. It really does depend on how the next year or two go. But I'm part of an amazing team. Llama, Matt, both brilliant lads. Absolute joy to podcast with. So easy going. We're all kind of singing off the same hymn sheet when it comes to most things. Llama brings an absolute calmness to the team.
Yeah.
His editorial skills and general kind of just being there, where we've become really good friends, and that's the main thing at the end of the day. If we don't agree with something, we tell each other, we're honest with each other, and that's the basis of hopefully a very strong future.
And I think that's very important because I think that there's not enough people. There's so many people, in my opinion, in this world, Boona, where people just pussyfoot off each other. They're just too afraid. And like, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but like at least in the Bengali culture, it's probably similar in your culture, where if someone tells you it's shit, you just say it how it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't pussyfoot around.
Really?
Like,
No.
Like, legit, like, for example, when I was, like, a chunky fat-ass tuna, my mum's like, you're a fat fuck.
Yeah, trust me.
Exactly, like, it's like, yeah, it's the way it is, and I just think people are too afraid, which goes back full circle in the fact of, like, I just think, do you feel that some people, because you're abrasive, because you say it how it is, because you throw this injected syringe emojis, do you think some people might be intimidated? But I think that if they are, I just think they literally need to lighten up. I don't know. You tell me, man. What do you think?
Intimidated in what way?
Well, I mean, like, so, right, put it this way, right? So, with me, right, growing up and learning more about myself, I know that when you're a sort of kind of individual where when you're outspoken, when you're your own person, when you're your own individual, people may be, because you don't fit like a box or a status quo, you know what I mean? When you're not like an average Joe, people are like, ooh, you know what I mean? And people just get like, unfortunately, because they're not used to it, they get intimidated. Like, you know, like you mentioned, some people may not understand or like the syringe emoji. That's a form of intimidation, aka they don't like it. So what do you think about that? Because at the end of the day, you can't please anybody, you can't please everyone. But
everyone's entitled to their own opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, most people have come to understand that I don't have ill intentions, and actually have started to embrace it and enjoy it, and that's the main thing for me. And there's nothing really to be afraid of, to be honest. It's a laugh, and I think as people get to know me, they'll become more used to it.
Yeah.
But the injections are around to stay, baby girl. Do you know what I mean? They ain't going nowhere unless I get blocked off Twitter, which is absolutely a possibility unless I stop using the C word.
You can literally like cheat code and literally just put an asterisk in between CUNT, yeah, and then be like, oh, it's not on the algorithms.
Well, I've been going with punt with a C.
Oh, good word. But yeah, I mean, going back into FPL, if you had to like ask people, or they listen to you in terms of like advice, what 3 bits of advice would you give to FPL managers? In general.
Oh, in general?
Yeah, in general, man. In general, because FPL is like a whole can of worms. Yeah, you go for it, man.
Cool. So, always listen to your gut instinct. Don't be swayed by what others are telling you. That's advice number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, have a balance of stats, eye test, form, and fixtures. Make sure you balance it out. Don't rely on one. And make sure you do watch some football where possible, even if it is just highlights. Number 3 is, if you watch content creators or listen to content creators and your information or your decision is influenced by them, if it doesn't pay off, don't fucking go and don't go and
you can swear, man, it's fine. Like my co-host Jack, and Jack like swears more than you on Twitter, man. Like
cool, yeah, so don't fucking go and like start atting them and saying, oh, you made me do this. No one made you do anything. You made your own decision. Whether it pays off or not is another matter. At the end of the day, if the decision making process is right, whether the outcome matches that and your initial thought process or not, that's surplus to the whole situation. That's got nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
We can only control so much at the end of the day.
Exactly, man, and I think that is important, bro. Like, I mean, I just think that people need to understand that. Like, for example, at the end of the day, like you pick your information off whatever, and at the end of the day, this is based. Like nothing is a given in this game. Like, for example, like I don't know, Salah could play against like I don't know some trash team like West Brom. And he gets injured off the first minute. You can't blame it on you know what I mean? Like, it's not as if like people willed him to be injured. It just happens because football is a bunch of mad variables that there are like correlations that make sense, but it doesn't always pay off. Do you know what I mean, Boona?
Absolutely spot on. We can only control the controllables and what is in our hands. We can't foresee. If Salah's going to get injured after 2 minutes, after someone's suggested captaining him because he's up against the worst defence in the league who've conceded 50 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's going to get injured after 2 minutes. That's out of our hands. The decision, it all depends on whether there was valid reasoning behind the decision making. The rest, whether it pays off or it doesn't pay off, we can't control that.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean it was a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't blame anyone apart from yourself if you're going to blame anyone, because at the end of the day, this is a game that you're playing. Others aren't playing it for you.
That is 100% true, man. That is 100% true, and no word truer spoken. So, Boona, give us your final words, and tell the world, for all those that don't even know anyway, tell people how they can find the FPL Boona. How can they find you in the world of the internet?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on Twitter, you can find me at FPL Boona. Other than that, if you are interested in learning a bit more about me, you can find me on my YouTube channel, which is co-hosted alongside Matt and Llama. That is a YouTube channel called That FPL Lounge, all together, no spaces. Those are the two main places, to be honest. We do also have an Instagram account for That FPL Lounge. I do have an Instagram account, but I'm not as active, so I won't plug that here. So yeah, main thing, you've got Twitter at FPL Boona and YouTube at That FPL Lounge.
Absolutely, and of course, all links will be in the description at That FPL Lounge and of course FPL Boona. But in any case, Moonlight Army, the one and only FPL Boona is signing off, and we shall now move over to the next segment. Enjoy.
Peace out.
Welcome back, people, and this is the official DreZera birthday online party. Woo! And I've got some amazing people here. We have got Jack E. Hyde.
What's cracking, yo?
We have got Dan the Man Pettit.
I was paid to be here.
And we've got Jill.
Hi.
I can't sit down. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
Hello. So it's mad, isn't it? I'm turning 31 in, well, by the time this comes out, tomorrow.
Very, very interesting milestone in your life. 31.
Old man zero.
3.
Say it again, Dan. You 33.
You're a third of a way to 93.
Woo! Yeah. Can't wait. No, I can wait, actually.
Jack's disappeared.
No, Jack's still there. He's just smoking. Let's just cut to a very interesting part that I want to bring up. Dan, you say you had a major announcement.
Yeah, that waits till the end of the podcast, thanks, Dre. Big news at the end.
Big news at the end, so tune in till the end to find out this big news. Yes. You're keeping them on tenterhooks, Dan?
Yeah, we'll do an AEW thing. We won't spoil it till the end.
Our fairs. Oh, we got a for all those we can't see. No one can see the video here, but we have got audio. We got visual of Jackie Hyde looking amazing.
Jack, I'm sure I dated you back in '96.
Mad, absolutely mad. So it's crazy, isn't it? Because by the time it's my birthday, it'll be a whole year of a lockdown anniversary. Oh, woo!
Yeah, crazy.
I know, it's proper depressing. I mean, the only times I've seen Dan, Jill, is by his doorstep, and I think it was only on 3 occasions.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. I haven't seen myself and Dan haven't seen Jack since at least 2018, 2019.
I'll say 2019. Shit.
Say that again, Dan?
I can see him now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean in person. You know what I mean.
But there's that cheeky.
When was it? That was August, one. I think that must have been around August.
Where is it? Cambridge. The last time I
Yeah. Beach ball too.
Was that the Kip Sabian last match?
Yeah.
Yeah. Before he went to AEW. Yeah, I get you. It's tell you what, it's very interesting because all 3 of us are massive wrestling fans, but Jill can't stand it.
What? Have you only shown her AEW though?
I've showed her a bit of WWE. I've showed her like 1 or 2 of your matches, Jack.
Oh shit. Good ones or bad ones?
I saw
There's like 3 good ones.
I showed her Jackie Hyde versus Alexander Hyde, and I can't remember the others.
Oh, you have to play the one where you got squashed. Jack. That was nice.
That was Jackie Hyde.
The only time ever I've actually sat and watched a match and one of the wrestlers looked at me and put their finger to their head to make out that they wanted to shoot themselves rather than be in the ring.
Ah, man.
I didn't say I absolutely hated it.
What did you mean?
When? When did I didn't say I hated it.
It's great.
Well, you said it was, well, hold on, what were your words? I think you said it's not your thing.
It isn't my thing, I'm sorry. I think it's like a little bit... I don't know. It's a bit sort of, macho aggressive and meets pantomime. Sorry.
It's alright.
But I don't think it's terribly offensive.
Okay.
Either.
Fair enough.
It's just maybe I wouldn't sit there
It's
and
not your
get
thing.
into it. I don't know.
It's alright, it's cool.
I'm a kind of,
It's alright.
I'm a pacifist, peace-loving kind
We
of
won't cancel
chill-out
you for your opinion.
Say it again, Jack.
Hmm?
Say it again, Jack.
We will not cancel you for your opinion. We are not those.
Oh no, here we go again. we tried to make this controversy free.
But I don't
No,
hate
nothing
it.
related to you. No. He
I didn't
just.
say I hated it. It was terrible, and it's. I mean, okay. When you told me something about the fact that the women won matches based on something about the amount of clothing they were wearing.
No, that was the past. That's like.
Yeah, I know, but this is.
That was 20, 25 years ago.
This doesn't say. Yes, okay. Like I can still see a lot of kind of male aggression and even in the commentary, in the commentator's voice and things like that. I don't know. It doesn't endear me to it.
It doesn't. It's not like. For
I don't get pumped by it. In fact, I feel a little bit kind of
bemused.
creepy. Well, it's just a bit kind of like. I don't know, too much. I don't like being in rowdy pubs as well with a load of men going. I find it quite intimidating.
No, they're out.
So I think I just rather get spa for the day.
That's why, to be fair, like whenever myself, Dan, and like another mutual friend of mine, and Dan's and Jack's Clark. Whenever we go to Pop Black, we go in a very early, late morning, very quiet time because Dan doesn't. Dan,
You're not quiet at all.
yeah, but I'm talking about the whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
Dan, have I at any point that you've known me in nearly 3 decades, have I been quiet?
Mate, it's a constant strain of noise for decades. I'll be honest, I'll be amazed I have got to 31 without the use of a hearing aid. You ain't got a hearing aid yet? No. So I have, Jack.
I just feel sorry for your neighbours.
Neighbours? No, I'm a subtle lamb. I'm a proper subtlety, you know what I'm saying? For real. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's typing, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure am. Yeah, so... Oh, man. So Dan, as this is a birthday thing, what did we... I can't remember. Oh, yeah, last year nothing happened because it was the beginning of the pandemic. What was the last thing that we did? Hello, Becca! Hello! Hello, welcome. Now we got the full crew here celebrating birthday, yeah. And Dan mentioned that Dan mentioning that he's surprised after nearly 3 decades of knowing me, he hasn't got hearing aid yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Am I really that loud, Jill?
I can't hear you.
When the first time you did the introduction to the podcast thing, I almost shit myself because it was that bloody loud.
Trey, if you want to know how loud you are, I can turn my speaker off here and still hear you.
Yeah, ditto. I don't even have my speaker on right now, and I can hear you.
And you were having, what were you doing at some point? Something to do with this course you were doing. And I really thought you were having an absolute stand-up row with someone over, either on Zoom or on the phone. You were shouting so, aggressively. And the other thing is, when you're on the phone to your mum as well, I thought, oh my God, the first time I'm like, oh, they're really bad problems in your family or something. It's, no, that's how I talk to my mum. Oh my God.
Although in person I don't really say anything next to my mum because
No, you don't.
I'm a quiet lamb. What was the thing, Dan?
You
What
can't
was,
get a word in edgeways with your mum sometimes.
what
so
was
bless
the,
her.
Dan? What was the thing that remember when I was skinny the last time? Well, remember what remember what my mum said to Dan, you and Clark. Remember that time? What did you?
Yeah, she was lovely. I have to admit.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. She sat there and said, "It's a shame you can't be skinny like my son."
It's interesting because I popped home earlier to do some work for my parents, and my mum saw me and said, "Son, stop losing weight. You look like stick thin." I'm like, "I'm not stick thin. No, I need to lose a bit more. I'm not a stick. Nah." No.
Can't we see you, Jill?
Yes, because you're taking up all the
What
room.
do you mean I'm taking up the room now?
Oh.
You were literally taking up all the room.
All you can see is the
You
That's
said,
better.
I'm not loud, am I, Jill?
Was I don't think was I loud in your company, Becca?
I mean, I think Sky still has hearing problems.
I remember that conversation with your mum when she said that, "Why aren't you thin like my son?" I said, "Yes, but your son doesn't have a penis as big as mine."
What? That's funny.
It is. Okay.
Gentlemen.
Say that again, Dan.
That goes down very well with Uma's mum from what I've heard about her.
Say that again, Becca.
I can imagine that going down really well with your mum from what I've heard about her.
Yeah.
She once said to me, "Yeah, I wish my son was nice boy like you."
Is this being recorded? I hope this is live on the podcast, by the way.
The first 15 minutes of this will be recorded. So in the next.
Perfect. So now everybody knows that Dan has a bigger penis than you, Uma.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's when it comes to Dre Zero though, who knows? Because as proven, as you both know, as everyone knows, Dre Zero and Uma have been separate. Like they have been in the same room. Totally not with video edits. No.
Are you that loud when you have sex?
Because he's hiding.
Whoa! What's this, Jack? Wait a minute! Whoa! What's this? Go on, what?
Are you that loud when you have sex?
I think we can answer that. Not by the two at the top of the screen, Jack.
I'm just gonna let you suffer. Look at the colour of you. You were like you're beetroot.
I can't tell the difference between his face now and his shirt.
I know. This is great. I'm just.
Thank you very much, Jack, for that input.
Yeah.
It's become Jeremy Kyle, hasn't it?
This needs like 18+ rating on it.
To be fair, when you have Dan and Jack on the show, to be fair, should naturally have a rating. Like, hello guys, welcome to the. Jack's like, fuck you all, fuck.
I usually claim I'm not getting paid for this, so.
Yeah, actually, that's true. None of us are getting paid for this, so we might as well get our money's worth.
Neither am I.
You are. You're getting paid for this.
Indirectly.
Indirectly.
Yeah, you're using all your friends to make content for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I personally feel very used.
This,
I expect at least, how many are they? 5. I expect at least a 25% cut.
There's 5 of
No,
us.
wait, 20% cut.
So if anyone is listening right now that's willing to sponsor the Dre Zero Uncensored podcast and would be happy to give a 20% cut to every guest that I have, then feel free. The email address is drezerocreative@gmail.com for inquiries.
The problem is that you usually give us 20%, but take 60 for yourself, because there's usually only 3 of us.
This is not. This is not.
Out, but you guys are supposed to be equal in this podcast. That's the dark underbelly of Dre Zero Enterprises. You heard it first here Money grabbing, defrauder of his friends.
Well, I mean, I mean, fam, if I'm a fraud, then Boris deserves to be jailed. But that's another story right here. Moving on. Moving on right there. But yeah, so tell us all. Sorry, Dan.
Moving on as quickly as possible, said Dre.
Yeah, so
I'm waiting for the next nugget of information.
so
here.
as the next 15 minutes will not be recorded. Dan, what's the major announcement?
No, I'm not doing it until on the podcast.
Fine. We'll carry on then. Okay, fine. Right. So basically, Becca, Dan has a major announcement, but he doesn't want to say until right at the end of this recording. Yeah, wait till the end. Wait till the end, indeed. Ah, man, I'm still embarrassed.
Yeah. Good.
Good,
You
indeed.
think you're embarrassed? You think you're embarrassed? What about that time when your mum asked me to prove how big my penis was compared to yours?
And then the other time she did it.
She got Jackie on the video call for that one.
I don't even think my mum knows how to turn on video, but
That's what you think. It's all a ruse.
Yeah, she's really
on the
actually one of your
video all the
secret friends.
time.
Yeah, exactly. She's been on your Facebook from day
A
one.
few minutes.
I'm
See,
glad.
mothers know. Mothers know these
Time on
things.
this, she's coming on in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I have a close circle of wonderful people. It seems closer than it seems.
We're all supportive.
Oh, Jack, you got orange juice right there, or is that the pineapple?
That's the pineapple.
Ah, it's a pineapple.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have you know, we introduce two women and take out the element of wrestling, and it's just this podcast has got dirty, hasn't it?
No, you're the one that's mentioned the penis.
Sorry?
I think he wants to prove to he wants to prove to us that he has a bigger penis than you do.
I mean, whether that is the case or not, I'm happy for Dan regardless. It's fine.
And also, right.
Yeah. What now? Yeah. What is it? Yes.
This is a very male way of thinking.
Well, I'm not the one that mentioned it, did I?
Yeah, but you don't see women go around that, oh, I've got a bigger pair of tits than you, this is great. Oh, I'm so much a better catch.
Interesting. Is everyone frozen?
Yep.
Oh man.
I've mentioned the word tits, you see, and that's that.
Mad thing.
We're coming up to the end.
Yes, we are. What is your announcement?
I'm going to leave it to the actual main surprise of this. I'm going to leave it to my joint co-host Jackie Hyde to tell you what the major surprise is.
Jack.
Our joint co-host of the podcast, Jackie Hyde, is going to tell my other co-host, Dre Zera, to tell you what the...
I don't even know what the news is. Dan, over to you. I don't know what it is.
Dre, tell him, Jack. Tell him the good news.
Do you want to tell him?
No, you tell him. Your idea. Quickly, he'll be getting nervous. Come on.
We're opening a strip club.
Yeah, we're opening strip club. What?
I don't think that's COVID compliant. What is the actual news?
Me and Jack have decided we are going to be doing some things outside of this podcast. We're going to be doing some music things, as Jack has obviously started playing music, and obviously I've had my singing channel for a long time. We've decided to sort of join forces and perhaps have a few jam sessions, see if anything leads to it. Everyone else invited to join in, but we're going to see how it goes.
Oh,
That sounds amazing.
woo! That's some great. That's awesome. That's great. And have you got an artist?
Jack's gonna lay down some sick beats and you're gonna sing over the top, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And what's your singing channel? I've not heard of that.
Oh, Dre never promotes it because...
It's because Jay never promotes it because he don't want me to promote it.
No, this sounds like conflict.
No. I'm defending myself here. I say to Dan, do you want any social media links or anything to promote? He's like, no.
the birthday specials. I'm usually playing a character. I usually play the character. I don't want to be here.
What's your singing channel, Dan?
Just look up my name, and there's a lot of singing videos on there.
There's also content of me when I was younger as well there as well.
That sounded sinister. There's no content of Dre.
There. Oh, sorry. Content of the other guy, Uma.
But it was
That's all.
That's really cool. And when can we expect to hear the first episode of Dan and Jackie Hyde's music adventures?
We don't know yet. We're discussing it, sort of discussing schedules and that. And because obviously, I obviously work full time, and Jack is quite a way away near the sea. So yeah.
Are you living in Bury St Edmunds as well, Dan? Don't you live just by Dre Zero?
Does Dan live by Dre Zero? Yes, Dan does.
Yes. That's not very far.
Yeah, like fam. But what sort of excuse is this? I went to not too far away from where Jack lived, like a lot of the time last year.
The world we are currently living in. And
That didn't stop me last year.
No, fair enough.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. But yeah, also we forget to mention also that Jackie Hyde has his other podcast that he does with the Booker Man.
Oh, I was only a guest.
Okay, never mind.
Becca, you got a podcast?
No, I don't have a podcast. Everyone says that I should, but not yet.
I mean, we talked about this. We talked about you having a podcast last year. I remember this conversation.
Yeah, I keep thinking about it, but like first things first. I'm an old lady, I don't like the technology stuff. I come on every now and then, but I'm not, going to be constantly on YouTube and stuff.
Schedule content, innit? You could just schedule content.
Who has time for that? Yeah. What kind of person possibly has time just to sit around in their bedroom uploading content non-stop? I mean, what sort of human would that be?
Sounds a lot like Dre Zero, I'll be honest.
In any case, people, thank you all very much for tuning into the birthday special. Also, on Wednesday, when this comes out, will be the brand new music video, The Journey, The Ascendant, filmed by JA Productions. Yeah, that was great filming. Totally, that was some cool filming as well. Looking forward to you all checking it out. Moonlight Army, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah.
Did you get stuck in any bogs?
Oh yeah, I told you the story, didn't I? Yes. Oh.
Yeah, it's not quite that bad, but it's not much better either.
I think it was world class.
It's because you were walking forwards.
Anyway, let's not reveal too much of what this
Yes.
In any case, people, any final words? Let's go to one of our special guests, Jill. Do you have anything to say?
No. That's
Okay.
not enough.
Okay, cool. Becca.
Oh, happy birthday!
Oh, thanks. Becca.
Happy birthday, Dre Zero, and happy birthday, Uma. I hope you two both have a lovely day.
Oh, thanks. Jack, do you have anything to say?
Congratulations, you're 31 on a list of 40 people I'm going to kill.
For legal purposes, Jack does not mean that. Dan.
Yeah, for legal purposes, Jack definitely means that.
He definitely means that. I saw his face.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Dad. Known you for 28 years. Obviously, this is my soppy bit that I always say about it. Here's to another 28.
Woo! Hell yeah!
Oh, you guys have known each other since you were like 3.
Yeah, so when Dan was 5 and I was 3, yeah. Back in the days when I think I sounded a bit more higher pitched than I do now. Yeah.
Still talked a lot.
What is good? This is Dre Zero here at the podcast.
And on on that note, before we turn into CBBS, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Dre Zero, with special guests Becca, Jill, Jackie Hyde, and Dan the Man Petted. We shall zero later. Goodbye.